This is Overtime with Chris Dewar, only on KHQA.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Overtime on this August the 13th as we return from summer vacation, but Mr. Dewar decides to take an extra Saturday off. That's okay, though, because we've got a jam-packed night of football previews, MLB and NFL action ahead for you as well, and we bring back our half-hour Saturday show in preparation for football season because we are now officially less than 2 weeks away. Tonight, we make our Barnstorm Tour stops in Pittsfield, Jacksonville, and Palmyra, while the Quincy Gems are still reveling in some good news after winning a Prospect League title earlier this week, along with plenty more local sports to tell you. However, we start tonight on a very serious note, in case you missed it, in our newscast about Macomb Bombers boys basketball coach Dan Watson. Watson was arrested yesterday for one count of aggravated criminal sexual abuse, and this stems from an inquiry on July 20th, which led to an arrest warrant issued. Watson posted his $100,000 bond and was released with a pending court date. He, of course, has led Macomb to great success on the court over the years, recently including a 2A regional title earlier this past basketball season. No further word yet on Watson and his status with the team. Well, as our Gridiron Barnstorm Tour completes its first week, we make 3 stops on this Saturday, beginning where there's plenty of optimism around town, and rightfully so. The Pittsfield and Griggsville Perry faithful endured a lot last fall, but as they say, time heals all wounds, and the experience from last year can now be turned into something very good. The injury bug wasn't kind to the Saukeys in 2010. But with bad luck then comes good fortune now, as experience plays a factor first and foremost this season.
Of our 22 starters on both sides of the ball, I think the majority of them played a lot last year due to the injuries. A lot of starting juniors this year that got a lot of time last year.
Yes, we definitely learned a lot from last year. With all the injuries, we got more people in for this year, I guess, get experience.
But it's neither strength nor quickness that is the key factor for this team's game plan.
I think more or less it's motivation from last year, and a lot of projected things this year. Our record's not supposed to be too good this year. You know, we're not supposed to do good in our conference, and last year we didn't do good. So we're looking to prove some people wrong this year.
We're definitely motivated. People don't expect us to do great this year. We're gonna come out. That's in the back of our head. We're gonna come out and we're gonna use that as fuel because we're ready to go this year. We're gonna have a great year.
We got done. I think our last game was on October 23rd, and we had about 8 or 10 of our key seniors and juniors started in the weight room on November 1st, and they went at it big and hard all year long.
The offense will be powered by arguably the quickest athlete in all the tri-states, as Dylan Butler has the capability to become a household name very soon.
He's just quite a weapon, and we've got the quarterback that's got a strong enough arm to get him the ball. We've kind of told Seth that whenever we throw deep, you throw it as far as you can, and he'll go get it.
Like the confidence level, knowing who you're going to throw to, that's always a benefit. His speed and his hands gives me a lot of confidence, and I know and I trust him that he's going to be able to catch it when I deliver it.
We worked a lot this summer on our timing and our connection, so we should hopefully get the ball out and get it going.
Offensively, whether it be running sweeps, whether it be bubble screens, whether it be deep passes, we've got to figure how to get him the ball at least 15 times a game in space.
One of the biggest lines in the area also resides here, where the Saukeys look to be strong in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
This is my 15th year as a head football coach, and I've never had an offensive line this big. And not only are they big, they move too. I mean, they're not just big lumps there. They have some agility and they move.
Well, being running back, I wouldn't want another line. This line, just seeing them in practice, hitting people and the size of them, I wouldn't want to run against anybody else.
Yeah, most of them work out with me at Pools Gym, and I know they've been working hard this all season, and we've made a lot of steps forward this year.
Of optimism should be very fun for the folks over in Pittsfield coming up this fall. Well, the assignment may be even more difficult in Jacksonville, though, where Coach Mark Grounds took the Crimsons to great success last year by way of some great help at the quarterback slot. Replacing that man may prove to be tough, but the team as a whole is ready for this new challenge. Jacksonville's first challenge of 2011 is a big one, replacing the best quarterback in conference history. Yet as life after Nick Lonergan begins, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better qualified person than Andy Mills.
obviously All-State quarterback. He's going to play at Quincy. He was just a freak of nature at quarterback, and being behind him and learning the offense behind him has been pretty awesome.
Nick's got that special accuracy. You can put it anywhere he wants it. Mills is getting there. He was my quarterback back in 7th and 8th grade, so it's not much different. Just getting back into the groove of playing together.
You know, I've been waiting ever since my brother played here for 4 years, just waiting to get out on the field and lead the team as a varsity quarterback. So I'm really ready for it.
He started at secondary for us, was in for nine drives in mop-up duty. He led us to touchdowns on 7 of the 9 drives, and we could have scored on the other 2. So, I mean, he's seasoned. He knows what varsity football's about.
A load of weapons are still there to go with the spread offense, including Dalton Keene, who earned All-American honors last season as only a sophomore.
I mean, it's really hard to believe that you do have him 2 years. You're fortunate if you have a kid as a starter for his junior and senior year, and you know he was special from the day he walked on. And you know, one of the things that makes him the most special is how humble he is.
The switch to a 3-4 defense has mixed things up enough to throw off opponents effectively, and the Crimsons will employ the same mantra again.
We ran it the last 3 weeks of the season, and what it really did was it allowed us to bring in a little bit more of a complex blitz package. We can move people like Dalton Keene or Chaz Middlebrook around.
I like it a lot. We put it in towards the end of our season last year, which helped out a lot. You know, I like covering the outside and stuff like that.
I like this defense. It helped us last year towards the end of the year, and it's just a lot of fun. You got to worry about a few things more than I did on D-line, but I'm okay with that.
But it all starts with confidence for Grounds crew, who is ready for Week 1 against Jerseyville.
Everybody on our team puts it on our own individual backs because we all want to succeed and we all want to make sure that we're there and make the plays. But that's what makes us a great team. We always got each other's back no matter what.
I've learned that to be more confident. You know, me just moving here last year, getting to learn a different playbook and stuff like that. I didn't have really much confidence in me, but you know, I'm reading my holes now more often. You know, I'm mentally focused on the playbooks that we run and stuff like that, so I bring back a lot of good stuff.
Quincy Notre Dame was also able to strap on the pads for the first time this summer on Saturday and did so with a team scrimmage. The Raiders have plenty of spots to fill during preseason workouts as only 3 starters return on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Speed looks to be a big factor in the Raiders' game plan, which means once again the offense will showcase a little bit of everything from the spread to smash mouth football. Still, though, just getting ready for Week 1 has this team pumped.
Contact sport, and you know, in the first 3 days you've got to be just helmet and a t-shirt and shorts, so not a whole lot gets done. So you know, by a couple days into it, you're looking forward to obviously having contact against your teammates and working and having competition and finding out the guys that are going to represent your team coming up here in a couple weeks.
And the high schoolers aren't the only ones getting ready for the season. We seem to be having oh, there we go with our video. Today, Pittsfield hosted the WIVC Junior Jamboree. 5th to 8th grade football players throughout the conference gathered and took on one another for a little preview of what's to come in their seasons. From Pleasant Hill and Carrollton to Pittsfield and more, there is plenty of aspiring talent in the conference as the kids played from 9 o'clock till 4, getting ready for the 2011 year. Should be very fun and a lot of good talent coming up to the high school ranks pretty soon. And we are just getting started. When we come back here on Overtime, we continue our Barnstorm tour with a stop across the river over in P-Town, where a new coach is bringing new faith to the table. Welcome back to Overtime, everyone. Lately, Friday nights during the fall have been a bit tough for the Palmyra faithful, but as KHQA Sports Director Chris Dewar shows us, there is certainly restored hope thanks to a new coach that the Panthers could be getting back to their winning ways sooner rather than later.
We are making great strides in that direction. I mean, I'm just absolutely pleased with the way the kids, the effort they put in. They come early, they stay late, they're watching film. You know, they're buying into what we're selling them, and it's going to work out, and it's going to benefit them in the long run.
There was a time when winning football almost seemed a birthright in Palmyra, so much so that when the gradual erosion of Panther football began, no one knew quite how to get this thing back on the rails. You heard phrases like talent down cycle and malaise thrown around, but in truth, the biggest thing this program lost was a sense of itself. A connection to the core values of fun, ferocity, and pride that helped jumpstart this thing in the first place. So who better than an alum to help remind a new generation of Panther that carrying the flag of Palmyra football wasn't drudgery.
Well, we talk to the kids a lot about getting that Palmyra swagger back. I mean, we've lost the swagger where we walk on the field, we know we're a good team. And they've lost that over the last 10 years. And it's time to start talking to them about that, and that's what we preach to them every day. Play with the swagger, play aggressive, play downhill, play Palmyra football.
I really missed it. I miss being around my friends. I just really like the game of football.
Darius Thompson is endemic of what Palmyra has gone through. A gifted talent who walked away from the game a year ago, but whose return to the fold now lends tremendous excitement. Certainly from the standpoint of his speed to the edge, but more so from an enthusiasm standpoint within the ranks, as the Panther players no longer feel like they're fighting a battle without some of their most able weapons.
Palmyra had a really strong team years back, and I'm ready to keep that back going.
A noticeable uptick in the Panthers' roster numbers means the coaching staff in the future can be more patient with a kid like quarterback Cameron Nutt, who honestly probably got thrown to the varsity Wolves a little too early in his career out of necessity. Watching the junior signal caller now, however, and how far he's come, only reinforces what a better place P-Town is in as a program.
We had a lot of sophomores play last year, and now they're juniors, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of seniors and juniors, and that size is really going to help us on the offensive line. And in the backs field, I mean, there's a big difference between a sophomore and a junior, so that's really going to help out.
I mean, Cameron, he's made great progress from last year to this year, but a lot of that, I think, stems from our great senior leadership. I mean, you got Bryce and Tyler and Darius and Blaine and those kids. They're buying in. They bought into Cameron and what he's doing, and they're really encouraging him, and that's helped to build his confidence, and that gives him confidence with his teammates and confidence with his offense.
A bigger roster also increases the odds that Kevin Miles can return one of the hallmarks of the great Palmyra teams by installing a benchmark area defense. 8 starters return on that side of the ball from a unit that I honestly felt looked far more gifted than the 28 points per game it surrendered a year ago.
I think it was a lot about numbers, because I mean, everybody was out there on offense, all 11 guys, and then we'd go right back out on defense. We were just dog-tired by the end of the game. And I mean, it was like now we have 50-something kids going out, and now we have breaks and everything, and this is great.
And in that respect, Palmyra may not be as far away as you would think, with veteran linebackers returning in Tanner Van Tress, Grant Myers, and Ben Altoff, and a defensive line led by Bobby Grunlow and Bryce Caldwell that is as athletic as any you may well see.
Yeah, we're all pretty fast, especially for linemen. We're not any really big lugs, but we're all I think the smallest one's like 190, so we still have a little bit of punch, but we can move around and really help our linebackers.
I think we got a lot of athletic people at D-backs and linebackers, and our linemen are big and fast. I mean, they can get back there to the backfield and make plays back there, and Bobby Grunlow and Blaine are going to be hard to block off the end, too. I mean,
but as much as any talent grouping, pure, unadulterated motivation figures to carry the day this season in Palmyra.
We all just wanted to get the program back to where it was once. A lot of us seniors have been playing for 7 years, and we've never really been part of a winner.
It's important for you to leave that as your legacy, too. I mean, to be the team that kind of got this back right.
Yeah, it's really important for us to get back as the first team to make it to the playoffs in a decade or so. And we've been working on that for 4 years, and we haven't got there yet, but we're planning on getting there this year.
Even on his day off, Chris Dewar needs his football fix, helping us update you with Palmyra football. And it certainly should be exciting to see a turnaround on the Panther gridiron coming soon, spearheaded by Coach Miles. Well, the Quincy Gems brought home the Prospect League championship earlier this week by taking down the West Virginia Miners by a score of 5-0. But while the players departed the Gem City, the win is still fresh in many minds in the area, and also amongst the Prospect League brass, as today Chris Saratella has been awarded the Prospect League MVP. He actually led all players throughout the summer with 14 home runs, also won the Home Run Derby while driving in 60 runs as well. You see the rest of his stats, 60 hits and 60 RBI. Not a bad ratio at all, and 33 runs to go with his .361 batting average. So congrats to Chris Saratella. Also, Chris Martin of Quincy Notre Dame during the spring and the Quincy Gems over the summer has been named the Prospect League Manager of the Year. He, of course, took the Gems to the West Division Championship, going 20-7 in the first half, led to a 38-18 overall record. It's the Gems' second Prospect League title in 3 years, and if you go back to the CICL days, it is technically Quincy's fifth championship, so not bad and very entertaining summer baseball for all to see between the months of June to August. When we come back, we'll catch you up on all the regional happenings on the diamond with the Cardinals and 2 Chicago baseball squads going at it. Welcome back, everyone. On May 12th, Cardinals starting pitcher Jaime Garcia picked up a win against the Cubs to improve to 5-0 on the year. Since then, though, troubles have hit him and the ball club, as Garcia has remained a stagnant 5-5 since, with his ERA ballooning up past an entire run as well. Garcia trying to get his mojo back against the Colorado Rockies and manager Jim Tracy. Top 3, we are scoreless when Carlos Gonzalez takes Jaime deep to right and gone. Not at first glance, but upon further review, check it out again. It hits the bushes and goes off a fan's glove for a 3-run homer. Puts the Rockies up 3-0. Bottom 7 now. Colorado up 5-1 when St. Louis has runners on. But Chris Nelson makes a great catch on the Ryan Theriot line drive. He doubles up David Freese. Probably could have gotten a triple play out of this one, but they didn't need it at all. The Cardinals fall to 5 games behind the Brewers for the NL Central lead. They're also 6 games back in the NL Central the NL wild card race, rather. And St. Louis falls to Colorado in this one at home by a final score of 6-1. How about the Chicago Cubs trying to rebound from a tough night against Atlanta? Taking on the Braves, Alumni Day for the Atlanta Braves. However, early on, top first, Chipper Jones, great barehanded play to nail Marlon Byrd at first. The Cubs, though, with an early run, are up 1-0 at this point. Dan Uggla, though, 32-game hitting streak. Let's extend it one more. His hit streak goes to 33 games by knocking this one here. Still 1-0 Cubbies, though, but later on in the bottom of the fourth, Uggla hitting some more. He just owns the Cubs over the last 2 days. The solo shot ties this game at 1 apiece. No fear, though, because the Cubs come back. Carlos Pena gets some good wood on this one. It's a 2-run double. That puts Chicago up by a score of 3-1, and the Cubs go on to win by a final count of 8-4. Well, whether he's retired or not, Carlos Zambrano isn't going to be welcomed in by the Cubs anytime soon. After his blow-up on the mound yesterday against Atlanta and throwing at Chipper Jones that you just see here, he was ejected. Later on during the game and after the game, cleaned out his locker and mulled over the thought of retirement. In response, the Cubs have banned the veteran pitcher from the team for 30 days without pay, and Big Z's rough track record in the majors continues. The White Sox doing battle with the Kansas City Royals right now. This game got off to a late start due to rain, and it is now delayed in the 8th inning due to rain. Good news for Chicago fans, though. The White Sox are nursing a 5-4 lead over the Royals as we speak. Let's go golfing for the third round of the 93rd PGA Championship. Last year's winner, David Toms, with an amazing shot today from the sand bunker, chips this one onto the green, gets just enough gas to fall into the cup at 1 under. He would be 2 under on the day, tied for 8th. Adam Scott with a daunting birdie putt on the third hole. This one rolls smoothly into the pin. He would shoot even on the day, and that puts him at tied for 8th as well. However, on the 15th par 3, Justin Dunford with the long birdie attempt gets the friendly roll to improve to 6 under to move atop the leaderboard. He would have company, though, by Brendan Steele, because he was the man to beat today. The birdie putt from way out to get to 5 under on the 8th hole, and then on the 14th hole, Steele with the curling birdie putt to get to 8 under for the outright lead. Currently, though, Dunford and Steele are tied for first going into the final round. Tomorrow should be very exciting. Tune in right here on CBS to see the thrilling conclusion. And when we come back, we'll wrap up overtime for you, as the Chicago Bears and St. Louis Rams couldn't play each other in their first preseason game due to a lockout, but they were each in action separately tonight. See how they did coming up next. Videos then. Both these videos, yeah. 230 coming back. If you could give me the 2, the 1, and the 30, I'd appreciate. The NFL lockout postponed one game. It was the Rams-Bears Hall of Fame preseason game. So these two teams, the last to get back into the preseason act. Lovie Smith and the Bears taking on the Buffalo Bills, and Jay Cutler gets sacked by Sean Merriman in the first quarter. However, Johnny Knox, Bears fans, get ready for this. This 70-yard kickoff return puts the Bears in great field position down to the 30-yard line. Bears still down 3-0 after this, though. Newly acquired running back Marion Barber looking pretty good as well right here as he picks up a 12-yard run and a first down. Bills still up 3-0 at this point, but in the second quarter, Jay Cutler, you saw him limping after that sack, and there were some definite leg issues at the end of his season last year. So Caleb Haney checks in and runs in from 4 yards out for the touchdown. The Bears go up by a 7-3 count after that. How about Mr. Okoye, who sacks Tyler Thigpen as well? Not bad at all. The Bears go on to take down the Bills and are 1-0 in the preseason by a final score of 10-3. The St. Louis Rams and Sam Bradford, they're completely retooled, and they're taking on the Indianapolis Colts, who are without Peyton Manning, sitting out due to an injury. Curtis Painter intercepted by Quentin McHale, the newly acquired back from the Eagles, I believe. This nice interception there sets up a Sam Bradford 12-yard touchdown pass to the rookie Lance Kendricks. That puts the Rams up by a score of 7-0. Later on, Dan Orlovsky, I guess he would be the current second stringer from the Indianapolis Colts. He's picked off by Craig Dahl. The Rams still up 7-3 at this point. And the Rams also have signed in the last few weeks Carnell Cadillac Williams, and he plunges through from 2 yards out with the nice touchdown right here. Take another look. Very close on this one, but he ends up getting close enough to put the Rams up by a score of 17-3. Josh Brown looking really good. The Rams kicker in this one as well. He would spot up in this game from 60 yards out. Once again, too bad it is preseason. Not too bad, though, as the Rams go on to win by a final score of 23-3, or 33-10, rather, excuse me. That'll do it for us on Overtime here. I'm all out of time. Remember, go to connecttristates.com right now. We've barnstormed a ton of teams right now, so it should be a lot of fun. You can read their reviews, a little internet companion for you, along with their stories. And coming up, you'll hear from Central Southeastern on Sunday as well. That'll do it for us. Thanks so much, everyone. See you back here tomorrow night.